To be honest, I don't like meal planning at all. But I realize that as a Mexican woman, I have actually been meal planning the entire time, the easy way. So here's how I do it. Meal planning doesn't work for me because I like to cook intuitively, just whatever I want on the day of. And meal planning tends to be too restrictive, takes too much time. By the time that you get to the day on your list, you don't want to cook whatever's on your list. So overall, it's too boring for me. And I feel like this is why it ends up failing for a lot of people. But as the years have passed, I realized that my mom, as with a lot of Mexican moms, have been meal planning all along without really meaning to, just naturally. You see, we have large families, and a lot of the times family just ends up showing up at your home unexpectedly. So my mom would often just have extra food in the fridge. And as the years have passed, I ended up realizing that even though I said I didn't like meal planning, I had been doing what my mom taught me all along. And this actually gives me the flexibility to end up making 95% of our meals. So here is how I naturally end up meal planning. One day out of the week, whatever day I'm going to be home for the longest period of time, I will make a large batch of beans, rice, tortillas, and at least one salsa. If I have extra time that day, I will also make a large batch of some type of soup or a veggie guisado, which is essentially a veggie stew or a one-pot meal. Thank you to the sponsor of this video, my cookbook, Mexico Ancestral Meals. These are recipes with the staples of ancient Mexican cuisine, true to the ingredients before colonization. I will make sure to leave a link in the description so that you can get your own copy. Now let's get back to the video. Lastly, I will loosely write down a list of veggie dishes that I think I might want to make that week. And these could be things like Mexican-style zucchini, Mexican-style potatoes, a nopales soup, a nopales salad, a quinoa salad, lentils for tacos, or a tofu for carne asada. And when I mean loosely, I mean very loosely. These are just ideas of the things I want to make, and then I go get the groceries for those. During the week, depending on how much time I have during any given day, I will simply make combinations. If I have more time, I will probably choose something out of the list of the side of veggie dishes and serve that as tacos with the tortillas that I already had, or maybe make some gorditas for it. If I have less time, I will probably just end up making a guacamole and make everything into a bowl with the beans and the rice and the salsa, the guacamole, and call that a dish. More than likely, if I have made a side dish, that will be my lunch for the next day, which, to be honest, a lot of times it just ends up being a bed of greens with that side dish and a little bit of salsa. For combination ideas, with your beans, one day you can just serve them fresh. The next day you can turn them into a soup. On the third day, that soup could be reduced down into refried beans. For the tortillas, one day you'll serve them soft as tacos. For the following day, you can put them in the oven and let them get crispy, and now you have tostadas, which you can put beans on top, or a veggie side dish. You can also cut them up into different tiny strips and put them in the oven, let them get crispy, and now you have chilaquiles that you can use with one of the salsas that you made. For side veggie dishes such as calabacitas or Mexican zucchini stew, one day I will serve it with rice. The next day I will probably roll them into a tortilla, put in some green salsa, and now I have enchiladas. And for all of the other side veggie dishes, you pretty much have an endless combinations of beans, rice, and a veggie bowl. You will be surprised how many combinations you can make with just beans, rice, and tortillas. When I moved to New York City in my 20s, I was very broke, and these were my go-to items. I would make tacos, enchiladas, salads, and bowls all the time. And what's great about beans and rice is that together they're already a full protein. So all you have to worry about is adding veggies throughout the week, and the salsas are just for extra flavor. Do you accidentally meal plan too? Let me know down in the comments. I will also leave a list of combination ideas and a lot of the recipes that I talked about in this video to the links of those videos, because I've already made them, in the description. Also, I have a cookbook that has all of the staples of Mexican food from scratch. So I will leave that information in the description as well. And until next time, buen provecho.